Hello! No Josie this time, just us, so we've got to somehow cover for that. Interesting special episode here. So you might remember that we talked about clubs. I don't know, like, did we say something in December even, or January? I can't remember. Or like a new car that was coming.
I think so, yeah.
And then it was like, it took longer than we thought, and that was definitely too long between knowing there's going to be an update and then the update comes.
Yes.
You know, and we had to separate clubs out so we could at least get the cars out. So we're trying something different. PL9 is out now. Surprise! Nothing. So, I mean, we're recording this obviously a few days in advance. I think what's going to happen is we'll put out the rarity rebalance changes. So you guys will have had that for a few days at least. And now, bam!
Yeah.
German Renaissance.
There it is.
Here it is.
It feels it's an exciting update as well. So I think we're just gonna just go through some
what we've got.
Yeah, some of the features and some of the content.
So here we go. All right. So first, I think this is the most cars we've ever added in a single update, breaking the record previously set by the French Renaissance.
Yep.
I think it's over 200.
Yeah. It's a lot of cars. So yeah, two new manufacturers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Ruf.
Ruf.
Some people say it's Ruf.
Ruf.
Yes.
If you're German.
Or
it doesn't have the umlaut on it though.
Well,
does
yeah.
it?
Apparently, maybe. Not sure.
Don't think.
I think maybe the official one does. Not sure. But yeah. So Ruf, we call it Ruf internally.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Ruf.
It's Ruf.
So Ruf. Fairly sort of I always say legendary cars, and I need to stop doing that.
Some of them are.
Yes, a lot of them are. So that's
life.
not completely inappropriate.
Yep.
But just very famous manufacturer in its own right. I mean, they obviously share. They look similar to Porsches.
Yeah. Very similar.
And obviously use Porsches as starting point, but do a huge amount of work with them. And they are, manufacturer in their own right. And there's just some great cars. I love the fact there's a couple of their slightly older models.
Yeah.
Or some of their sort of, I don't know, the term is almost kind of continuation models where they've gone right back to the sort of 356 era.
Yeah.
And sort of recreated those. So they've got there's some unusual models in there where there's things that look old.
Yeah.
But are actually like right up kind of 2018, 2019 with the performance to match.
It's R56. 0.11.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think Ruf, big manufacturer. There's a lot of very, very rapid models. I think in terms of they're most well known for their Yellowbirds. Yeah. Sort of nicknamed the Yellowbird. It's actually if you've got it.
Yeah. It's coming out RQ26, which is a nice spot.
CTR. I can't remember the name of the driver, but somebody went and recorded a footage, sort of onboard footage of them doing Nürburgring, a lap of the Nürburgring in a Yellowbird.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most heroic displays of car control I think that anybody has ever captured.
Right.
So that really put them on the map. And then VW. I know actually VW comes up a lot in terms of the kind of forums and comments.
Yeah. Why haven't you got this?
Yep.
In terms of big obvious things to tick off.
Yep. And now they are here. I think we're going to be having some truly epic races with camper vans going head to head as some of the slowest things in the game.
That's right. Well, so we've actually marked those out, and I think what we're going to do with them, it's never totally confirmed until it actually happens. We always reserve the right to change our mind, but that could be the successor to the Austin challenges.
Okay.
It's going to be about collecting those because they're so iconic. But in terms of raw performance and top drives, not. Yes. I mean, RQ3, they're not going to be.
But just an amazing mix. So we've gone big on VW. I think there's going to be some great hot hatch challenges that come up. I think probably their model to maybe kind of note is the I.D.R. Pikes Peak car.
That's a 2.2 second or 60 there.
Just unbelievably fast. Electric sort of performance vehicle. Actually, I think it was a week ago, maybe, or 2 weeks ago. It actually set and I don't know exactly what lap record it got, but again, they took it to the Nürburgring.
Oh, really?
There was a specially modified version, just because the Pikes Peak one doesn't need to have a very high top speed, and that needed to be changed for the Nürburgring record. But I mean, it's pretty awesome. I think if we ever do any sort of eco-friendly challenges,
they come up occasionally.
Or just sort of anything in that space, anything kind of electric drivetrain. So that will be unleashed on the sort of top drives world at some point. It's obviously there, and we need to look at kind of when it's going to come up as a prize. And then BMW are back in the sense. I think there's always been a number of BMWs in the game. We've gone substantially bigger.
It's got 130. It says.
Okay, yeah. So right up there, kind of one of the biggest manufacturers in the game now. There's a range of models. So there's some normal stuff with somebody like BMW, most of those models that have gone in have been from the player community. So it's cars that you've suggested to us. So there's some stuff in there that's just middle of the road type models that people kind of have fond memories of, and then right up to some of the more high performance stuff. I think culminating in the RQ28 M8 GTE car, which is I think we were just looking at it just now. I mean, this is absolutely cutting edge motorsport technology. New, the M8, the 8 series is a completely new model. So it's sort of everything about it is as modern as you can get. And I think that's reflected in its handling of 98.
Stock.
Yep. So a new top drives record for handling that will be going in, and again be looking for which events when that appears as a prize car. I mean, obviously has to be a prize car, but so it feels like a great addition of cars. I think as somebody who's quite into cars, I just keep flicking through it and just looking at the range of models that are coming in.
There's a lot of
and
cool stuff.
Like we're just saying, there's a few kind of new sort of almost record holders. I mean, we don't have a term for it, but quite a few. There's a few new sort of either sort of top drive record holders or very close to the top of the list. I think going back to Ruf, I think one of the things is that their top speeds are immense.
I see.
In them.
I mean, I guess we should briefly mention, I've seen both kinds of complaints in an update. People have said, oh no, there's an update and all the cars are better, so now you've got to get all these new cars, power creep. And then I've seen other people go, oh, this update, all these cars are useless, they're just padding out the packs here. And I think, as a game that's fundamentally based on real world cars and real world performance, power creep is never going to go as crazy as it does in a lot of other games where they can just double the hit points of the newest cool unit or something. But time does move on and cars get slightly better. So now it kind of makes sense. We've got an incredible 2018 race car. That is how it's going to work.
It just moves it on that little bit. So I hope there's going to be a good mix of kind of this style and performance. So if you're one of those people that likes to win in style with something stylish or a little bit unusual, I think there's going to be some good things in there. And then there's a few new real standout cars in terms of ultimate performance.
Alright, so now let's talk a little bit about the track that goes with it all.
The track, it's been mentioned a lot. I just because it does, and anybody who's talking about cars, the car world, it gets talked about a lot. But we are adding the Nürburgring Nordschleife into the game. It's our first real world track, so it's something it's something that's been quite new for us. We did a little bit in the early days of Top Drives where we Evo have a test track that they use, and we actually modelled that track. It's never been available in the game, but we used that as kind of benchmarking. But this feels like
because they had the telemetry from it, so we could literally compare the acceleration curves. And figure out how handling should work based on that.
So it's kind of useful, and this is in a way this is going to become a new source of data, and we kind of benchmark the number of cars around it. So I thought I'd run a quick challenge here just to have a look. So we're going to do the full circuit. I thought I'd put a Ruf CTR up against Volkswagen Golf R400, which is kind of king.
Wow. Okay.
Hot hatch, really. So I'm probably gonna kind of maybe speed this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's
quite long.
It's a long. I think, as anybody knows, the Nordschleife is immense.
Yeah.
Incredibly long racetrack. I'm always amazed at the people that actually lap it quickly. Just the memory, that sort of capacity for learning every single kind of line and corner and braking point is a huge challenge in itself. But we've one of the things that we wanted to do a little bit differently as well is we've actually kind of augmented in the corner names, or the famous corner names.
Yeah.
Because it's in a way that's how people know the Nordschleife is through the famous corners.
Yeah.
The Yellow Bird up against the Golf R400.
Oh, yeah, how's it doing?
And it's not bad. I mean, the Golf makes an early sort of burst off the line with its 4-wheel drive traction. But after that, the CTR. I mean, when did the CTR come out? I mean, it's 1987. I mean, it's sort of an old timer in that respect. But it's in a way this is its backyard type thing. This is what it was built for, and incredibly powerful car, and it's the Golf is a very fast, very all round kind of sort of hot hatch, or kind of ultra hatch, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But it can't quite keep up. I mean, it's there. It will be seeing this yellow shape kind of in front of it, disappearing around the next corner. But it just can't quite take it. And the CTR in the end finishes with a fairly healthy. So just waiting for the Golf to come in. It's going to be there any second. But here it comes. Last couple of bends. So it's not it's a good race. But the Ruf takes that, and it's. So the way that we've done it, I mean, we've obviously we've modeled the entire Nordschleife, and it's in the game and it's available as a challenge, in different weather conditions. So what's quite fun is that you can run it in the wet and in snow as well. Right. They do often have to close for snow. Yeah. But what we've, to make it more usable, and because it is just this huge challenge, we've actually broken up the circuit into sort of 5 shorter sections as well. Each of which adds up to make the whole thing. Yeah, and again, those are available with different conditions. Okay. So I think what we'd like to do, and kind of when you start to see it in kind of in events and things like that, it's going to be sort of mixing that up. So it's like maybe this corner or this section of the track, but in dry, wet, snow, and kind of mix it up in that way. Yeah. So I think people will kind of, you'll see the kind of recognizable sections and be able to see those, and play those as shorter challenges. Yeah. I did actually just quickly before this the entire Nordschleife in heavy snow. Yeah. Is our cars were taking about 24 minutes. Okay. To go around. And what by default we give you times 4 speed? Yes. So it's that's. Might want to tap. Yes. Get to the end of that one. Yeah. Yeah, but we're really excited. It's one of those things that I still see. There's a very iconic sticker that if you've been to the Nordschleife and driven around it, a lot of people will. Yeah. It's like your claim to fame. You put that sticker on your car, and I see it a lot when you're sitting in traffic jams. It'd be a nice car, and somebody will have a small discreet sticker from there. So it's a big thing. We know about it. A lot of the manufacturers, still are using it to test their cars. They still kind of set records, like we're saying that the VW I.D.R. Just recently was they're still going for records there. So it's a big thing. Very keen to see how what everybody thinks of it. Mm. One thing that I think is worth noting is that we have benchmarked a number of cars, sort of like slow, medium, and fast cars around the Nürburgring, because there's a lot of published lap times for it. Yeah. And I think when you start experiencing it and putting cars up against it, I think people are going to see that some cars are sort of absolutely spot on. Other cars are going to be kind of drifting a little bit kind of off the published times. Yeah. And that's just, we take the simulation very seriously behind Top Drives. We're constantly improving it. But with a track like this, there are just so many opportunities for kind of even just a slight mismatch between kind of braking points and corner radiuses, and the way that our driver drives it in the simulation, and the way that whoever's doing the lap time in the real world takes it, and even the car conditions themselves. So I think some of the manufacturers will take a little bit of kind of liberty and kind of strip cars out and maybe put them on slightly not quite standard tires and things like that.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be cars there that are doing slightly different times to maybe times that people have seen in kind of on websites or magazines.
Yeah.
I think over time, what I'm keen to do is sort of use the Nordschleife as almost a new benchmark.
Yeah.
And I think as we discuss handling scores, if people are debating handling scores or sort of ultimate performance of our car, I think we can use this as a useful new benchmark.
Yeah. And we'll have to get deep into this. Like, oh no, that time was done with this modification or whatever, or like actually the weather conditions were different there or something. I don't know. It's definitely going to come up now.
It is big. Apparently it's renowned. It's big enough that it can be like beautiful sunshine and warm in one half of the circuit and wet and cold in another half. So it's all to play. But yeah, we just wanted to kind of flag that up now that is going to, that's the thing that we're keen to discuss it.
Yeah.
And over time actually use this as a new way of making sure Top Drive's as accurate as we can possibly make it. But so Nürburgring Nordschleife is coming your way.
There you go. All right. So, and then I guess to wrap things up, we'll just talk about a few of the other things that are coming in. So, quality of life. I think one of the top-rated quality of life things I would say, hand autosave, right?
Yes.
Like, we've got the functionality. There's a little button. Not everybody even discovers it, where you can save your hands. And then if you've got loads, it's difficult to scroll and then you change your mind, and then you didn't save the new hand. You're like, oh no, wait, I figured out a better one.
It's funny. It feels, for what it is, it feels like a surprising amount of hard work.
Yeah.
Sometimes to go in and save out hands.
Yeah, that's right. And people were requesting improvements to that feature as well, but and maybe that's still to come as well. But we've kind of done an end run around it, and we'll just give you whatever hand you last used.
Yep.
In the event.
Event specific. Yes.
Event specific. And so that's great. Like, I think it was 2 days ago, 2 events were ending, and I was in contender for ceramic or premium in both. But if you like use all your tickets and then there's still 5 minutes of the event left, somebody might knock you out. So I'm switching between them and I'm loading my hand back in each one. I just about managed it, but it was like a lot of tapping and a lot to go wrong, and the game shouldn't be about that.
No, so that's the thing. That's just a bit of a headache, bit of hard work.
Yeah.
That's not the game at all.
Yeah.
So it felt probably maybe overdue, but it's here.
So enjoy that. Yeah. And then what else? There's various bug fixes, like the Santa Monica quarter mile. Some had like a little corner in it somehow. Yeah. So a handling car, like I think a 969 upgraded El Camino could be a 996 somehow. It just got that advantage. So that was a bit silly. Drags should be straight. That has been straightened out. Yes. And a few other little things. And we've got notification manager now. So I think this way it goes with so many games. It's like, do you want notifications? And you're like, yeah, okay. And then there's just too many. And it's like, well, I want to know some of these, but I don't want all of them, so you just get nothing. So now some nuance. You can pick what do you want to get notifications for. And then that just makes more sense. And the final thing, we mentioned this in the last episode, the prize board rebalance is here, right? This is the next stage in balancing out this whole question of smurfing and dailies and where do you make your money. And we thought, okay, it's silly that you make all your money by losing and playing bad cars and all this kind of stuff. So we thought, we'll swap in clubs. That was massively unpopular. So we're like, okay, all right, you definitely need your daily for various reasons. You need it in some way. But we thought, okay, we can make a rebalance. In terms of the data, it's always been kind of mad. How much money do you make from prize pools and how much do you make for winning? What should it be? 50-50? Like, it's massive, especially if you're farming. It's just so skewed. It's like, why are you even... And I guess this is partly what contributes to smurfing. You're like, I can't make tier 2, the whole event's pointless. So it's like, okay, there should be a bit more in it to make you feel like, I'll at least make tier 3 because there's a better prize there or something. So this is a rebalance at that. There will be less to get in prize pools, although more cars will have some commons come up.
Yeah, I think that was another comment actually, kind of in the response. Yeah, I think people just want more.
That's right.
Fodder.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird thing. You see it in the club races. Like you get a common event, it's like, oh, only the real professionals with huge garages go into the commons event. That's a bit odd. More people should be able to have commons. So they'll be around, and then all of the prize tiers will be bigger. And obviously we'll be monitoring, seeing how that works out, for how people make money, how does it feel. That's what's going to happen. So there's a few other bug fixes, but you can read the full patch notes.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So that's it. So
PL9.
Look forward to seeing the Rufs, the VWs, and some new BMWs fighting it out around the Nordschleife.
Exactly. So there you go. Surprise. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, it's me from the future. I was sick when they filmed the episode, but I've come along to give you a little bit of news because we've got something good coming up. I hinted it in episode 23. We are going to Goodwood for a track day, and we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff related to that. So we've also got some prizes. Oh yeah, so this is a super duper Top Drives branded t-shirt, and you can get one of these as well. What we've done is I know that the guys didn't answer any of the questions from episode 23, so we're going to do a rollover. I'll be picking for the next episode at Goodwood. I'll be picking questions from this episode you just watched and last episode, and if your question is picked, then you get a t-shirt. We've got a bunch of different sizes, and there's going to be some info in the description. If you don't want a t-shirt, of course, we can always just sort you out with a carbon fibre pack as normal. Of course, we're going to Goodwood, so if you have any particularly themed questions around Goodwood or anything you can think of, go ahead and leave that in the comments as you would. And thanks very much. We'll see you later.